Hello, we are in the next section. We are doing pages 9 through 13. This is adding integers. This is when it gets a little more difficult. I know a couple of you had some difficulty with this last year, but I think if you think about it, hopefully you'll get it and it won't be too difficult for you. So adding integers. So we're only going to be adding two numbers. We're not going to be subtracting. That's next section. Okay, so when you add integers, some of them might be positive and some of them might be negative. So there are two conditions, okay? Condition one is that both numbers have the same sign. The first examples we're going to look at are with number lines, and I'm going to show you what to do with a number line. So if both numbers have the same sign, for example, we're going to add a positive 2 plus a positive 4. And just so you know, if there's not a sign in front of a number, it's always assumed positive, okay? But so positive 2 and positive 4. When it's positive, the right side of the number line is the positive side of the number line. And as you go left, that's the negative side. So if you notice, we're going up, 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 higher and higher, positive. And if we go this way, we're going negative. So always remember, to the right of the number line is positive, to the left is negative. So if you're at 2 and you want to go 4, you start at 2, and I'm going to go 4 to the right because I'm positive 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I end up at 6. So this is by number line. A positive 2 plus a positive 4 equals a positive 6. You know that anyways, but this is just a simple one. The next example is a negative 3 plus a negative 4. It says, if both numbers have the same sign, this time we're going to go the other way because they're negatives. So we're going to start at the negative 3 and we're going negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where do we end up? We end up at negative 7. When adding a negative number, move to the left on the number line. Okay? So negative 3 plus negative 4 is negative 7. Condition 2, the add-ins, and do you remember from even 4th grade, when you add two numbers together, the two numbers are actually called add-ins. So the two numbers that we're adding together have different signs. Uh-oh, what do you do? Well, let's look at the number line again. If one is positive and one is negative, we're going to start at the first one, positive 4, and now we're adding a negative, and I told you when it's negative, we're going to go left. 1, 2, 3. We end up at positive 1. So a positive 4 plus a negative 3 is a positive 1. You can also look at it as 4 minus 3 equals 1. Okay? Now, again, you have two different signs. So you have a negative 2. You're going to start there. And you're going to go positive 5. So positive 5 tells you go to the right. So negative 2, we're going to hop over 5. And we're going to end up at 3. So a negative 2 plus a 5 is 3. This is the way you learn with the number line. But, you know, in math, you're going to be beyond the number line. So we're going to actually learn it without using a number line on the back wall here. So, adding integers without a number line. Eric, can you just get me a black marker? Because I forgot to bring one over here. Okay, so condition 1, just like the other condition 1, we have like-signed add-ins. So I'm going to tell you the way the book puts it, and then I'm going to try to make it, oh thank you, a little easier. Number 1 says add the absolute value of the add-ins. You take the two numbers and add the two numbers, whether they're positive, like sign, whether they're positive or negative. The absolute value, we're just going to pretend they're positive. Add the two numbers together. But then the sum, which is the answer, we're going to take the sign of the two add-ins. What does that all mumbo-jumbo mean? You got two numbers. They both have like signs. They're both negative. If I'm adding two negatives, then I'm going to add the two numbers, 3 and 2. I know 3 plus 2 is 5. And I'm going to take the sign that they both have. So a negative 3 plus a negative 2 equals a negative 5. Okay, so do it again. You have two like signs. So you're going to add the two numbers. 9 and 2 is 11. A negative 9 plus a negative 2. Both of them are negative. We're going to just take the sign. So a negative 3 and a negative 2 is a negative 5. So what is a negative 6 plus a negative 4. Hopefully you will say negative 10, okay? Condition 2, this is when it gets a little more difficult. You have unlike sign addends. So I'm going to give you what the words that the book uses, and then I'm going to try to put that a little simpler. Subtract the smaller absolute value from the larger, and then give the difference. Difference means subtraction, the answer to subtraction. Give the difference, the sign of the addend with the greater absolute value. What does that all mean? We're adding. You take the two numbers, you're going to subtract the little one from the big one, okay? I'm taking the absolute value, so don't even look at the negative right now. You have a 7 and you have a 3. You're going to subtract the two numbers, that's the difference, and then you're just going to keep the sign of the bigger number, okay? 7 plus a negative 3, subtracted is 4, the sign of the bigger number is positive. The answer is 4, okay? You have two numbers. We're adding, so these are two addends. They have different signs. Subtract the little one from the big one. 5 minus 2, I get 3. Take the sign of the bigger number. Which number is bigger, a 2 or a 5? 5. The answer is positive 3. Okay, on this one, subtract the two numbers. 16 minus 6 is 10. Take the sign of the bigger number. Positive. The answer is positive 10. So I'm going to give you one more example. You have a negative 8 plus a positive 5. Subtract the two numbers. 8 minus 5 is 3. Take the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number is 8. That's actually a negative 3. Your classwork is going to be, first of all, there are 4 properties in this section. This section is between pages 9 and 13. The 4 properties are on page 12. I want you to write those in your notebook. Okay, there's 4 of them. Write the whole properties out. And then I want you to do problems numbers 1 through 43. You can do it.